All right, hello everybody. So we do want to do a video on Hurricane Ian. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that's reached out and made sure we're safe. I had to go down to Fort Myers to get my brother and sister in Punta Rassa, which was overlooking the bridge to Sanibel, which is completely disappeared, basically a section of it, and that's where really it seems like the worst. Fort Myers Beach and that took the brunt of it. But just try to give you guys an overall like larger picture of how everything's doing, opposed to just harping on obviously the really terrible stuff.
Wednesday near Fort Myers, Florida. Its 150-mile-an-hour winds tore apart homes and devastated businesses in its path. The storm surge, up to 12 feet, seemed to wipe communities right off the map.
We're gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna show her the footage I got, because you didn't get to see it.
I have
mean,
not
other
seen
than
it.
the
Other
news.
than just the news, yeah.
But yeah, so let's go look at that. You ready? All right, so this is the first shot, and so this is where we were just talking about. This blue building right here is the Marriott. All of this was dock and all that stuff's gone. But they recently redid some stuff for the previous hurricane, and like they didn't lose any windows or anything like that. But this is where the news people were set up, and then this building off to the corner over here is where Punta Rassa. That's where my sister and brother were staying in a condo for the.
And that's the marina where they house some docks
So
for
this
some
is-
boats. And I understand. Oh,
I think
that's cool, J. Michael.
looked around, but this is the front of the building. Obviously.
Oh my
And you
goodness.
can see, we'll show some footage.
This is Sarah's building.
All that concrete is torn up. All of this. So here. I want to back it up just a hair.
There used to be a house right there.
Yeah. There used to be a house right here.
Little rental house.
So if you look under here, you see these? These were closed off. They were storage units and parking for.
That's right. The owners.
The water went through there. Talking to Sarah and Mike, the first floor is technically like the second. These people right here had cars floating by the front of their balconies. The water was up so high. This guy she talked to had a car that was hitting his balcony. He was worried about it like breaking because the car was running into his balcony.
To see the causeway damage.
Not the main section. So there's a couple sections that are down.
Oh, poof.
This is right off of the toll. We'll see it where it broke, but there's like a 500-foot section, the second thing where it's like you could take an aircraft carrier through there. This second piece up here is just missing.
Well, and they had a hard time getting out because of all the sand, right? From on their road, even right across that.
Well, and then one side of the road is just torn up. I mean, it looked like the front of the building where the concrete was
that's
gone.
our pool where we hang out.
Yeah.
Yikes, look at all the cars.
The cars are stacked up against the pool there.
Oof.
Why don't this go away?
I wonder how on earth you would even start. I guess just...
Well, I will say this. Yeah, you can see, and this is like elevated, all these cars pushed up against here. By the time we got there, they had already cleaned up an enormous amount of this.
Those disaster relief folks really know what they're doing.
So it was a private company. Like this used to be just a pool decking, obviously.
yeah.
All this stuff got washed up. Shuffleboard court, like cars on the shuffleboard court. It was a private company that was there, and they pulled up, and man, they were moving and grooving. They were getting all these cars, and they were putting them all kind of neatly in a section because they couldn't take them away for insurance claims purposes.
Well, and those buildings have been through a lot of storms.
So this right here, you guys will see, there's literally a house that used to be there. So this is crazy. We can go back upstairs, I guess.
Sure.
You know what was crazy?
That was pretty shocking.
It's very shocking. You know what was crazy going down there? Everyone, like
help
the
each
sense of
other.
community was in. It's just interesting to see how psychologically people react to stuff like that. It was really kind of weird. Like we pulled up and didn't know what to expect, and it was like everyone was just.
It's going to take
Happy
a
to be alive.
very long time to figure out how to put some of that stuff back together.
Yeah, I mean it's very devastating. Now here in Central Florida, I fell asleep. We were waiting for it, and I mean nothing. Not like literally.
You've slept through all of them so far.
Yeah, I was expecting it to come during the day. It slowed down. So then we got a lot of rain, and you will find footage of like downtown Orlando. There's some places that flooded and stuff like that. How can people look up if they're considering buying a house? How do they do some research on sort of like flood zones and?
To be honest, I don't know how to answer that question as far as street flooding and things like that, where the city has not done a good job with drainage and things like that. But if you talk to residents, like if you go, gosh, does this ever just sort of flood around here when there's heavy rains? And like, oh yeah, this road always gets flooded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a good spot to be.
Yeah. Well, and this was crazy too. Like for example, we talked to our agent down in Fort Myers.
Yeah, there's just a lot of cleanup that's going to be happening for the next month.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Cape Coral was really hit hard, and Fort Myers Beach and all the coastline. So that's the main focus. So most of the communities are going to be okay over here. Like Pelican Preserve, they had power back, I believe, on Sunday morning.
Well, keep us posted, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, sounds good, guys.
All right, see ya.
All right, you
Bye.
guys take care.
Bye, Mike.
So you went up to Flagler.
Yep, I went over to Flagler after the storm
And
had
this
gone.
is kind of where it had exited the state. So it came in, so it did dampen quite a bit over land. And then, so what kind of damage did you see? Like, for example, latitude, beachfront, you
Right.
know, there.
So I did see some erosion of the beach. So there's a lot of, when you went along the beach, all of a sudden this cliffy and some piers that were taken out, things like that. I think the big thing is to be conscious when you're deciding to purchase, kind of how close you are to the coastal areas, what kind of water features you might be living around.
The other thing that does happen, and then this is more far and few between, but trees will go down. So if you have a tree that's
J. Michael trimmed up his trees to make sure they
just
didn't
nothing
fall.
over the roof,
Just-
stuff like that.
Yes.
And to everyone that had anyone affected by the storm, you know, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. Yeah.
Yep.